Hey everybody, welcome back to another We Go YouTube video. So there's a couple things I want to talk about, so we just going to jump right on into them. So first up, let's talk about Miss Chrisean Rock. So for those of you that don't know, for those of you that do, bear with me, I'm sure you've heard this, but Chrisean Rock was a part of Tamar Braxton's LA stop of her Love and War tour. She was supposed to perform her song. Evidently, she wasn't able to perform because during the time she was supposed to be on stage, she was allegedly, I'm just going to say allegedly, trying to get her friend into the show, which you have an opportunity to perform at a high level with this person that people have paid to see, that is famous. It could elevate your song even more. And you are trying to get your friend in the you up front trying to get your friend in the show instead of being in the back ready. But anyway, a person who works for Tamar and who put the show together, LaTroy Davis, said that he didn't even know she was supposed to be performing. However, she missed her time. She then came back into the dressing room and was going off or what have you. And James Wright Chanel, who is Tamar's best friend, was trying, to just let her know, look, it wasn't done on purpose. It wasn't a slight against you, yada, yada, yada. And she allegedly ended up punching him in the face. I'm going to tell you, when I heard that, it just did something to me, like went through me, because who do you think you are to be walking around thinking you could do whatever you want, say whatever you want, put your hands on whoever you want with no consequences? And I'm going to tell you, she going to run up on the right and wrong one day. Like, girl. And why does Tamar have this girl a part of her tour? That's my question. Are they friends? Do you owe her mama a favor? Like, what is really going on? Is Tamar trying to assemble a group of Avengers that she knows will ride for her in the form of putting hands on people? A person like Chrisean Rock, who then ends up turning around and puts hands on your friends? It just doesn't make sense to me why she's even in association like that with Tamar. I don't know. Maybe they do have a friendship. Maybe they met over social media. I don't know. It's all very crazy to me. But anyway, Chrisean Rock has now come out and decided to speak, if you will, on the incident. So according to Ice Cream Conversations, Chrisean Rock deactivates her socials after alleged assault on James Wright Chanel. Chrisean Rock is taking a long overdue break from social media. On Sunday, the aspiring artist and reality TV star announced she was deactivating all of her pages. She added, "Love y'all, see y'all later," with the little heart hand emoji. God bless, with the praying hands. Chrisean's exit from the streets of social media came on the heels of her being accused of assaulting singer James Wright Chanel, who is also Tamar's best friend, on the Los Angeles stop of Tamar Braxton's Love and War tour on Friday night. According to LaTroy Davis, who is on Tamar's team, who I watched his video, he said he put the tour together. Chrisean assaulted James because she was upset about not being able to perform at the show. Chrisean took to social media and seemingly sidestepped addressing whether or not she assaulted James. She said, "I've been brought up before and I know how it goes, a certain way. False narrative saying this happened, she did that. I don't know. I think it's just a clout chasing thing. Honestly, I need to start protecting my name." Girl, maybe you'll be able to do that sitting in somebody's jail cell, only having to contemplate on your actions. If this is true and she assaulted this man, which based on her history, right, it does not seem far-fetched, girl, you need to be held accountable, point blank, period. So again, maybe she'll be able to protect her name and do some self-reflecting, sitting behind somebody's bars. So she went on IG and said all that. In the meantime, James Wright Chanel also took to social media after the alleged assault and claimed he was an innocent bystander. He added, "All I did was went to work, child. Y'all already know what type of person I am. But let me tell you what ain't nobody gonna do. Ain't nobody gonna take my joy, my praise, my worship. Y'all should see my effed up face, and I still got joy." LaTroy Davis, who again is the gentleman that works for Tamar and put the tour together, vowed to make sure Chrisean Rock is held accountable for allegedly assaulting James and ruining Tamar Braxton's show. So what do y'all think? We need to be in prayer for her baby. and what that baby may be around and what that baby may be seeing. And also for her as the mama, because she needs to grow up. She needs to really, really grow up. Like I said, my prayers up for that baby child. Moving on. Let's talk about Kim and Kroy. Child, I'm sick of talking about them, and yet here I am. So according to Reality Blurb, Kim Zolciak and Kroy Biermann celebrate 12th anniversary with dinner amid messy divorce. Plus, Kroy faces seizure of Rolls Royce after Kim spends up to $30K on vaginal rejuvenation. Kim and Kroy celebrated their 12th wedding anniversary over the weekend, despite being in the midst of a messy divorce and custody battle over their 4 minor children. As the Real Housewives of Atlanta alum, because we don't want you back, we don't want you, fuels rumors of a potential reconciliation, with Kim, 45, saying she was thankful and blessed amid their recent dinner date. Kroy, 38, is facing the possible seizure of his Rolls-Royce SUV after a estranged wife spent up to $30K on a vaginal rejuvenation procedure. So we know that Kim's surgeon, who is Dr. David Matlock, did an interview with Radar Online last month and talked about Kim's procedure. He confirmed that she did in fact have vaginal rejuvenation, and that cost is between $25 and $30K, and that Kim was paid in full. He said, for patients with a history of multiple childbirths, experiencing stress, urinary incontinence, and vaginal relaxation, our laser vaginal rejuvenation treatment is available. The comprehensive fee, which covers the surgery center, anesthesiologist, and surgeon, typically ranges from $25,000 to $30,000. Explaining that he does not disclose specific pricing details related to any individual event. In addition to this surgery that was $25,000 to $30,000, Kim underwent skin tightening treatments, including, and I'm not sure how to say this, Renuvion, 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 and Morpheus 8 Body, which Dr. Matlock said generally falls between $12,000 to $15,000. Contingent upon the size of the treatment area. This procedure aims to achieve 50 to 60% skin tightening. Dr. Matlock also revealed that Morpheus 8 skin tightening treatment is priced between $3,000 to $5,000, and he noted that individual needs and results may vary. So here we have Rolls-Royce suing Kroy, accusing him of blowing off a lawsuit filed against him in June, where he was to make payments of $5,297.64, but he allegedly quit paying in September on the SUV that was $400,000. So this lawsuit is being filed, and now they have filed to be able to come and basically repossess the Rolls Royce. So he's supposed to be paying all of that back. She spent at the minimum $25,000 on the vaginal rejuvenation, then at the minimum $12,000 for the Renuvion, and then at the minimum another $3,000 on the Morpheus 8 skin tightening. So what's that? 25, 35, 36, 37, upwards of $40,000, and you have all this debt. I wonder if she got the money from when she went on the Surreal Life, because she was on the Surreal Life, or if he said she was paid in full, right? He told us the price of all these treatments and then said she was paid in full. Did a sponsor pay for all this? Did she get all this paid for so she could be like the face or a celeb face of this? I don't know. But I do know if she paid money for this, I guess they can't repossess the new coochie and the skin and all that. But anyway, I don't ever want to see her back on my screen again, ever. So in an Instagram story shared over the weekend, Kim was seen enjoying drinks and dinner with Kroy on their 12th anniversary. She's cheersing to him. What an incredible night, she proclaimed in the caption. Then, along with a photo of herself at their home, Kim added, happy, thankful, grateful, and blessed. A part of me wonders, is this a scheme that Kim and Kroy set up to come to us with the BS? Meaning everything that we've seen in the last, say, 6 to 9 months with Kim and Kroy, and all of this fighting and things being caught on video and on body cams. Are they so desperate to get back on TV to get a check that they're willing to do all of this, perform all these shenanigans to make us still interested in them, if you will, and what's going on? Because even if you're not interested, we're still talking about this stuff, right? Because everything that comes out is like, what? Wait a minute. So I do wonder if all of this is a way for them to get back on somebody's TV. Put them on anything you want. Just don't bring them back to Atlanta, period. All right, moving on. Let's talk about a current Real Housewife. Let's talk about Miss Erika Jayne. According to Radar Online, Erika Jayne accused of bleeding ex-Thomas Girardi's estate dry, trying to benefit from husband's fraud with never-ending fight over diamond earrings. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Erika Jayne has refused to drop her fight over a pair of diamond earrings that were taken from her as part of her husband's bankruptcy. And now she's being accused of causing economic bleeding. When I do that, because it's in quotes in the article, economic bleeding to his estate that owes millions to other parties, RadarOnline.com has learned. Erika's estranged husband, Tom Girardi, was pushed into bankruptcy in 2020. The once powerful lawyer was accused of running his law firm like a Ponzi scheme. Y'all remember all that? Y'all remember the Hulu, was it Hulu? Yeah, documentary they did and all of that. Many clients claim Tom secured them a financial settlement in a legal dispute, but had excuses when it came time to pay them. Earlier this year, Tom and his associates were charged with wire fraud. Prosecutors accused Girardi of embezzling $18 million from his clients from 2010 to 2020. As part of the bankruptcy, the court appointed a trustee to take over control of Girardi's finances and sell off assets to raise money for the creditors. Y'all, just thinking about that documentary and the people that, you know, were just hurt and people who lost family members. And as a compensation of sorts, you know, they were awarded this money. And I'm thinking of the gentleman who was burned on over 80% of his body and still has surgeries and doesn't have the money because Tom Girardi didn't pay him all of his money. It's just heartbreaking. So Erika was hit with a $25 million lawsuit demanding she return money the law firm paid to cover bills for her company, EJ Global. She has denied all allegations of wrongdoing or having any knowledge of her husband's alleged crimes. Separately, the trustee demanded Erika turn over a pair of diamond earrings that Girardi had purchased for her for $750K. The trustee said the jewelry was improperly purchased with funds meant for Girardi's clients. Erika opposed the request before a judge finally ordered them to be sold off at an auction. The earrings were sold off for $250K. However, Erika filed an appeal of the decision after the sale, arguing the court's decision was improper. So I'm going to say that again. The earrings were sold for $250,000. However, Erika filed an appeal of the decision of the sale, arguing that the court's decision was improper. The reality star claimed she was owed damages for the earrings being taken from her. She was owed damages for the earrings being taken from her. Now, in a recent motion obtained by RadarOnline.com, the trustee says she's had enough of Erika's arguments and attempts to drag out the case. The trustee said there is no question the funds used by Girardi to purchase the earrings were meant for his clients and was not in his personal account. In her motion, the trustee asked the court to shut down Erika once and for all. She said it's needed, most importantly, to stop the economic bleeding Erika is causing the estate in pursuit of her quest to benefit from the unconscionable fraud and crime perpetrated by her husband. The trustee revealed that Erika recently asked for more time to conduct discovery, including depositions of the trustee's expert. The trustee said Erika has provided no evidence to warrant her motion being granted. As a result, the trustee has asked that the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star be stopped from continuing this battle. Erika was told to return the earrings. The earrings were then sold at an auction for $250K. Erika is now appealing that sale and saying that she should be awarded damages from the earrings being taken from her. at this point, I want to say, like, let it go. I mean, maybe she truly feels like the money to purchase the earrings initially for her was from his personal account that had no ties to client money. I don't know. At this point, it's just optics wise. I don't know, but you know what? I pray that the victims get every single penny that they were owed, because this right here is a lot. Y'all, let's talk about some other stuff. Let's go on and talk about another housewife in the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Let's talk about Kyle. This Allison DuBois, the medium that was on seasons ago, Dinner Party from Hell. It's funny because she was like not in isolation, but she was not seen or heard from for years. And now all of a sudden we're seeing and hearing from her a lot, it seems. And maybe it's not a lot. Maybe it's just a couple of the interviews that she's done just seem to be getting a lot of press. But it's just interesting how before she was nowhere and now she's everywhere. And I don't mean nowhere like Korea. I mean, she wasn't out speaking out, right? So according to Reality Blurb, Allison DuBois suggests Kyle Richards' premeditated separation for RHOBH, slams BS claim that she and Mauricio were on the same page, and shares thoughts on Dorit and PK's relationship. Allison DuBois, the psychic medium who predicted the downfall of Kyle Richards' marriage to Mauricio 13 years ago, is speaking out against the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star and sharing her thoughts on what's truly going on in Kyle's relationship. Kyle and Mauricio recently admitted their separation, and Kyle indicated that they were getting a divorce before she seemed to take it back. Some fans, however, have speculated that she's using the rift to get higher ratings for the show. Speaking on the Behind the Velvet Rope podcast, Allison addressed Mauricio and Kyle's marital issues, which are now being highlighted on RHOBH. I think everything they do is for ratings and to further their careers. The fact that they had this huge press release about their separation this summer, you can only believe in coincidences for so long before you look at it and say, this looks premeditated. Allison also addressed her first reading of Kyle 13 years ago. Can y'all believe it's been 13 years? Anyway, she was so hungry at the time to be wealthy and adored, and she worked really hard to get to a place where she had fame and has the money. The medium eventually asked, can't you hear them saying, okay, this season is boring. We need something, but I think it's out of their hands now. I think it's actually becoming real. And I think it's why Mauricio looks so surprised in the last couple of episodes when she'll push back at him. I think she's actually throwing in some of the truth, testing him. I think she felt unloved for a long time. I agree with this. I do think that Kyle is kind of like throwing real things out there. Like even in the previews when we saw Mauricio say, it's me cheating now or something like that, and Kyle says, finally, or something like that, I believe that he has stepped out. I don't know this for a fact. I'm just saying. And I believe that Kyle is doing exactly what the medium Allison has said, that she's actually throwing in some truth. And it is catching him off guard. Like, this is not the play that we were going to run. I agree with her. She also addressed the recent episode in which Kyle indicated that until recently, she and Mauricio were always on the same page. She said, I've met people. I know a lot of people, and I just don't believe they've been happy for a long time. It really killed me in the episode where she kept saying that the two of them were always on the same page. That's absolute BS. Regarding Andy Cohen's question to Kyle on Watch What Happens Live about Allison's former prediction, Allison stated, it was interesting because Kyle, if you watch her face and her body language, at the beginning of that episode, you see her demeanor completely change and she becomes disheveled in that moment. And I just find it so interesting. The power of me that just hearing my name was unsettling to her. She went on to say, I think because the truth hurts. And her reaction has to do with something that she just doesn't want the public to know because she feels like it makes her look bad. She should have called me. We could have had a martini and hashed it out. I could have given her some way forward advice, but that really wasn't what she was worried about. I think she's always worried about the castle being threatened. the money, the family, all of it. Her idea of what she wanted her life to look like and what's actually happening behind the scenes being counter to the vision that she has. Allison has a lot to say, honey. She also reacted to Kyle's continual assertion that Allison was picking up on the energy of Camille Grammer and her ex-husband, Kelsey, during her past reading 13 years ago. What I had said in the reading was, when your kids are bigger, you'll have nothing in common. That's not a terrible thing to say, and that just seemed to eviscerate her. She equated it with divorce, and she's like, oh, she must be picking up on Camille. She can deflect and say that all 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's not going to make it true. It's deflecting. And if you're in a courtroom, this is a tactic that you look for that indicates that you're getting too close to the truth. She suggested that Andy orchestrated Kyle's recent interview with Kelly Clarkson, who asked the star about Allison. Do you think Kelly actually did that without Andy's prompting? I mean, let's be real. Andy is the puppeteer. He's pulling all the strings. That is set up. Ciao. She said Andy Cohen orchestrated Kyle's recent interview with Kelly Clarkson and orchestrated Kelly asking about Allison. Allison also hinted that if Mauricio and Kyle stay together, the reason is maybe they're stronger together because Mauricio, without the show, his business will lose steam, and he knows that. We all know that if you're attached to a reality show, it's a big infomercial. And Kyle knows if she loses Mauricio as part of her life and scenario, that she has no storylines. I don't think you're ever allowed to maybe see the real dynamic of their relationship before. I know that he's lived part of his life with her and has been very secretive. I have to go to Mexico. I've got to go on this trip. And she's not there. I'm sorry. And she's not there. And she doesn't know what happens when he goes there. I think at some point she had to stop caring because it hurt for too long. You cry on your pillow, you go through it. And I think she got to the point where she just didn't care if he went to Portugal or what. She didn't care if he went to Portugal or wherever he was going to go without her. I don't know. She's picking up on a lot. I'll just say that, if all of that is going on. She also claimed that there's more to the story behind Mauricio breaking away from his brother-in-law, Richard Hilton's law firm. Because remember, Kyle got Kathy, who got Rick, to give Mauricio a job at the law firm. And then their relationships with each other became contentious when Mauricio left the law firm to start his own law firm and allegedly took some clients. So Allison says, there were things reportedly that came up missing in Kathy's husband's office that had to do with all of the details of the clients, that the agency didn't become big until that information had been acquired by him and Kyle. That's a little confusing. So basically, I feel like she's saying there was some information that came up about clients that went missing that didn't come up again or didn't come to light until Mauricio had started the agency. She said she thinks Mauricio and Kyle should be together. She thinks they're cut from the same cloth. Then she talked about Lisa Rinna. Regarding Lisa Rinna's departure from the show, Allison commented, I feel bad for Rinna in a way, and I know that she was made to be the villain, but I don't think that the viewers are maybe fully grasping that the episodes and seasons without a villain are flat. So the villain is very important. Don't be surprised if down the road, future seasons, they don't pay her a whole bunch of money to come back because they need villains. Kyle doesn't want to be the villain because she always wanted adoration or others. She went on to comment on the recent Pretty Woman scene with Dorit and PK. The whole Pretty Woman scene with her, meaning Dorit and PK. PK kept using the word control, that she likes to control things, that she's controlling. As somebody who's, profiled criminals before, that kept standing out to me as though he might like somebody that he can control, and maybe that's not Dorit. Allison had a whole lot to say on that podcast, honey. She said, listen, I am bringing Kyle relevancy. Lisa Rinna, she feels bad for, and she feels like maybe PK wants someone who he can control, and maybe that is not Dorit. She said a mouthful, and I have said a mouthful in this video. Let me know what y'all think about all the topic we discussed. I love y'all, and I will talk to y'all later. See y'all.